usual play style that we can expect from Liquid. So I'm not even going to touch the draft. Coach RC, Coach Tic-Tac, go wild. You guys have done very little wrong. Maybe save for game one. Game one, you know, those lane matchups could be better. But I think it's more on the boys. I think it's more of a tighter play and better decisions from minute to minute.
I agree that they need to have tighter play because discipline was a really big issue, especially when you're going into really awkward times. But in terms of the draft, I think winning lanes make the most sense for them. Oheb getting this first pick Sora every single time is doing a lot of work to deter not only the quad, but at the same time threatening Rosa consistently throughout game one and as well as game two. Rosa, unfortunately, taking a lot of beating in match number 2, and that's an adjustment that they need to be aware of. That's why I'm leaning more into, hey, Pagu needs to have something like Khalid, right? Something that has playmaking capabilities, while at the same time supporting Rosa in moving out of that lane first. Don't forget, redeem the code up on that screen while you still can.
2RYQSUWJJ. For people who don't want to read, I dictated for y'all. You're welcome.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you. As always, please log in and quickly input the code and enjoy a random skin trial. Think fast, because that won't last. Anyways, come back into this game. I will say that at least for the side of Liquid, I would imagine that Sanji is having a harder time than he probably would have liked because Sigaboom is kind of on him nowadays, right? In game 1, we saw a very similar aspect with Claude. In game 2, even the Esmeralda, he was like, man, yo, Carl, don't jump on top of me. We both get hit. This game's over.
And I think these gold laners are on different spectrums. They're on polar opposites of their responsibility levels. Sigaboom is so locked in. Oheb needs to reel himself back. He's played Sora both games, and he's played very loose with it. I don't know if it's a matter of the rest of the team just saying, all right, Oheb, just do your thing. You know how a Sora works. You know what to do with it. Or if it's him on purpose going out into the world, meaning into the loving arms of Aurora, suffering half a dozen deaths. I think he can do better to take care of himself, and this is coming from the best place is because it's not making the most of that powerful pick.
I mean, it's a powerful pick, but skirmishing is such a powerful tool to have when you're probing your opponents for battle spells, right? 90% of these fights, how do they survive? I still have Flicker. I flickered at the right time. Take away that Flicker, look for another fight later down the line, and you get a game similar to game number 2. Consistent skirmishes, consistent trades, as we've seen for the past 2 games.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping into the draft game number 3, and this time it is going to be Flying Clouds. And Aurora is going to be the first pick, this time on blue side. Team Liquid is second on the red. But looking at the drafts here, at least in terms of the ban, it hasn't changed just yet. For Team Liquid, they still don't want to see a Fanny or a Grok.
Don't think that that's ever going to change. But now they're also getting rid of the Hylos. Pretty similar bans overall. Now, I want to see if TL is going to commit to it, or whether do we see a slight adjustment here on the red side, right? And then we have it. The Leomord finally leaving Claude wide out in the open, and honestly Sora as well.
Well, looks like the Sora is going to be the first pick. Make sure that Team Liquid doesn't have it. But again, you gotta be careful because Sanford showed he can play a mean Valentina. I just hope TL doesn't flex it in mid. I know Sanji can use it. It's just that against range, because probably Aurora is going to pick up that Farsa, unless, of course, Team Liquid just takes it now. You know, Farsa Joe looks pretty good.
Looking back at the history of Aurora, they play the Sora more in the EXP lane. Only recently did Sigaboom start to play it.
Something that he had to keep in mind. Wow! Farsa Fredrin. I didn't think we'd see the Fredrin this early on. I really thought we were going to see a roam pick first.
I think these decisions by Team Liquid are coming from the fact that if they put Carl DZ on a Yi Shin, the rest of them just go into this mode of, all right, let's go fight. We have full vision, let's go fight. This keeps them a little closer, a little tighter, turning them into a technical counter attack boxer, which is better, which is more applicable to Team Liquid now since Aurora are not afraid to fight.
EV is open, by the way. I wonder if they want to pick it up here. Again, I think the last game make it so that Eve looks much better, but I think that one is, you got to put into context. But looks like they're not going to be picking it up. They're picking up the CC as well as the Kalia. I can kind of understand the CC because going up against Team Liquid probably going to be a heavy front line kind of lineup. CC does okay, but yeah, this doesn't mean that they're not going to be having the Eve, which makes you wonder what is going to be the pick for Rosa here.
It's a crazy flex. In blue, first phase, mind you, you still don't know which is going into which lane, so the whole find the Sora still doesn't work as easy, so they'll roll the dice, pick the Claude, because clearly there's no room for the Freya anymore. And they take out TNZ's picks. There goes the Harley. Would not be surprised if Red 5 ban was a Guinevere.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of when Aurora was taking on SRG. These two picks of Sora and CC was very frustrating to deal with, so inevitably they would either ban it or steal it away from them. Similarly to facing off against TL, I feel now they could have kind of pivoted. They could have like gotten the same comp just a little bit later down the line and kind of open up options for that Yi, because now what do they do exactly against the Fredrin, right? You send the CC up forward, all of a sudden the Feather Airstrike is going to deploy, you might get blasted out of Oblivion, you might have to use a Vengeance early on, and I think that now that TL has gotten a good read, hey, let's get rid of the probers. No more Harley for you. I'm pretty sure Leomord has already been banned out as it is in the first phase, leaving us with what?
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to stop you guys there just a little bit because look at that. We have the Fandom War. So you guys in chat, make sure you guys let us know who is going to be winning this one, TL or Aurora. When it comes to the numbers, looks like TL is looking a much higher now, 689 against Aurora's 297. Which again is to be expected, but hey, we want to see more from the Aurora fans. Now TL, they do ban out the Yi Sun Shin, probably guessing they're A-okay going up against the Eve, considering they do have the Claude.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff because Aurora has a significant lack of damage in the later phases of the game. I'm feeling like Aurora might have to position themselves for a Lilia, just to maybe have a secondary way actually, to poke out the Fredrin in these neutral situations, maybe even Guinevere pick up, but then you really have to double down on not Guinevere utility, but Guinevere full damage.
Right now I'm just worried that in terms of the damage, right? If they go for the Guinevere, they kind of really have to hope whatever hero that Rosa picks up can really carry the early to mid, because you're going up against the Fredrin and the Farsa. I feel like your early game is going to be abysmal. Like Aurora can go for something, say a Boxia, right? Just to kind of like match tank for tank, but again, not enough damage in the early.
Yeah, no. If they're not going an Assassin, they can go for utility and then put up a Lunox, or is Zetian even worth trying?
I feel like Lunox is worse. I feel like Lunox is pretty good.
Lunox might be better. A utility plus Lunox, that's fine.
But Rosa really has to play a perfect game, which to be fair, has been pretty good in the knockout stages here. Team Liquid 10 seconds in. Looks like they're going to be locking in the Cho. So a lot of pick-off opportunities right now in TL. It looks like they're not disrupted at all in their drive. It seems like they're getting everything that they wanted.
Yeah, I think neutral objectives are going to be really fun to watch between both teams because there's a lot of ways to outplay the other. Now, the question being, what is going to bridge that early to mid? Are they still going to go back to the Eve? Are they going to have something to be able to kind of poke out the frontliners of the side of TL? Or are they just going to back away? Because I think doubling down on the poke just makes a lot of sense when you have a CC on your side. You're already running double fighters. They're going to be probing anyways. You might as well get some value.
I think they need the burst. The real-world manipulation from Eve, despite her kit being very good, doesn't provide what the rest of the lineup is asking for. So I'd go Lunox because it has a good matchup against the Farsa, good stats. So utility plus Lunox.
Zetian and Hayabusa?
Okay, Assassin and Hayabusa. Assassin and Zetian.
Yeah. I kind of feel like what Aurora is aiming for is win out the lanes, make sure Zetian can deal with the Farsa, both CC as well as Sora can deal everything by themselves, giving space for TNZ and maybe keep on ganking one lane. But when there's a Fredrin and then there's an Arlet, and a Cho, you kind of don't want to go in a fight.
I think this is a draft mistake. They should not have gone for the CC that early on, and this is causing a lot of problems now that you're playing an Assassin into not only the Way of the Dragon, but also Fredrin on top of that. You basically don't scale without a Sky Piercer. He's put themselves in a corner.
This is what a Stampede looks like. Liquid loves their crowd control. They love a reliable gold laner. The burst on Sanji. I think Liquid have found themselves again.
Casters, Aurora took a pretty big, I would say, risk here. So let's see how the games turn out with our casters.
It all comes down to how they executed the Lanadon, and the risk pays off because, hey,
5 seconds.
it's game number 3 in the Lanadon we go. This is the battle for match point between Tlph and Aurora Gaming Turkey.
Yep. And if it's just risk that we're talking about, this isn't new to Aurora. They've been one of the few to introduce the more unorthodox meta, the Harleys, which are now being banned against them. So this might just be all according to plan for them, but I have to agree, the draft looks very favorable for Team Liquid.
And it's not just in this tournament, right? We saw the Harley, we saw those crazy picks, but the Amon, the Leomord, it was them who showed it off in the international stage in previous tournaments as well.
Yeah, I mean, Aurora's always been known for doing things like this, but they are also a team that's known for making it work time and time again. I like the draft a lot. I think the Hayabusa is a little off, but still, if there's a team that can do it, it's them.
Yeah. Looking at the emblems, everything looks pretty standard for majority of them. A lot of thrills, so I'm guessing Team Liquid really want to take things into or under control, but Aurora Gaming, despite everything we've mentioned, at least with the Zetian, we're seeing how they also are keeping the mid lane under control so far. So I guess that's stopping Team Liquid to a certain extent.
Yeah. That's something we have been seeing a lot from the Zetians, even for Selangor Red Giants. The way they control the mid lane is, with the Zetian, you have just so much range and instant clear with anyone with Concussive Blast. So even if the enemy team has Cho, it's still a win for you. JP and Sanji are kind of confined to their turret right now, and it's very difficult because on the Forza you want to be active. You want to use those wings by wings early to get like a little bit of poke on Lunar, maybe a win, or just relieving pressure off of your weak side. All those small victories have been taken away from or by the Zetian.
Ooh, that could have been something for Aurora. Fortunately, Team Liquid are really careful in scouting out where they could potentially come from. They're the ones holding the turtles first, though.
Oh, a lot of damage on it, JP.
Feather airstrike.
Airstrike goes down early for Sanji, but he is able to zone Rosa away, and that's the goal. And Team Liquid once again get the first neutral objective with the turtle.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, without...
Hey!
Oh, wait!
Comes the bully, JP comes in. Is he able to get it? Wait a second, a lot of damage on the JP. The shadow kill, Tienzi with first blood. He's just able to, he does lose the purple buff over to Tlph, but still, at least he finds some revenge. Now Sanford taking a little bit of damage as well, but the disengage happens.
Okay, that flicker was a bit off-timed. I think he could have escaped that a bit or could have split up the damage a bit more, but then he clicked it right as the Ogi shadow kill was cast, so he had to go down. Could have been better, especially as he used the flicker. Oh, Pagu too using the flicker, but going back, yeah. Team Liquid Philippines at that point, I feel like Aurora Gaming should have been more, wait, maybe we talk about that later.
The dragon on Tienzi, Tienzi instantly taken out. A tsunami slam from Pagu. Tlph wants more, gonna come in. Block on Pagu, Sanji showing up to the party as well. Pagu decimated, taken out, wiped off the map. A double kill into the hands of Tlph.
Wait, Lunar!
Sanford in trouble. Lunar trying to find something.
Oh.
Hopefully he can pick it up. Yes, Lunar gets the solo kill. Up against 40.
Who's the Apex Predator now? Lunar winging out up top, but also uncharacteristic on both sides. Yeah, Sanford getting solo kill. Tlph recalling on Pagu. I don't see that often.
I can't help but recall what they mentioned in the interview. He just wished good luck to wait. Oheb?
Got a kill on Oheb, blazing duet. He will be safe. The fighter emblems just
okay.
too much.
Maybe I can continue what I was saying now.
Yeah.
But
Never mind.
Never mind. Okay.
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 Yes.
Now I.
Never mind.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Wait. You're good. Go.
Go.
Go quickly.
So so Tlph did mention good luck to whoever they're facing against next, because they're really feeling it right now. So maybe that's one of the indicators that they are, because he doesn't usually spam the recall.
Especially after last game. Oh, Sanford!
Oh!
Flash on a Tienzi. Tienzi's not going to get out of this one. Sigboom does show up. Gets some nice damage on a JP. Looking for one more shot. Bagu unable to connect with a Tsunami Slam. Rosa as well. JP gets away safely. Finally, Tsunami Slam does come on to Sanford.
Wow.
Takes some more chip damage from Rosa. He tries to dash back. Gets back to the turtle, and it's another neutral objective into the hands of Team Liquid.
Beautifully done by Sanford there. Getting solo killed up top, he instantly just rotates over, plays for the team, knows that, all right, in this matchup, I'm kind of cooked. Might as well just go and enable the team, the part of the team that's winning, and then rotate back up top. Lunar he's a Sora. He's great in team fights, but in terms of sieging turrets down, not that good. You can already see that the punishment from Sora just staying in lane wasn't all that.
Yeah, and it's the small things. The way he always tries to help JP, that Dauntless strike last minute, just so JP could survive. And JP himself too, with that well-timed Shunpo, so he doesn't get caught in the title strike. So everything is just slowly falling into place for Team Liquid here. But you have to also note, Aurora Gaming, they're not letting things completely go their way. They're looking for the trades, and these are really good trades because they're getting turrets across the map.
Taking a look at the items here, rush to the Oracle there for Lunar, wants to get more benefits from the healing of Tlph passive. You're constantly proccing in team fights, and it makes sense because he has Concussive Blast. This is the thing that we've been seeing a lot of teams go for as we develop into the later stage of the M7 World Championship. Earlier on in the card, it was all Brave Smite Soras. Then we got to see Tlph play the Concussive Blast, and I'm like, wait, how does this work? He lost on that, then I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the best. Then we saw more and more Concussive Blast just for Prio. And now it's the best emblem to go for. No one ever goes Brave Smite again, except, I mean, this is what we're talking about XP, because Temporal Rain is pretty good for gold.
Yeah, we saw that in Oheb's hands even yesterday, or even just earlier now when he used it and did a couple mistakes on the Sora, but that was already Tsunami.
Wait! Now that's more like the Apex Predator. JP!
Nice way the Dragon does connect onto Pagu. Feathered Airstrike as well. Shifting clouds keep Tlph under the tower. JP now trying to run away as Pagu. Rosa want to try to refight this out.
Oh no.
Masanji and Stanford and all the rest of the team have showed up, and the taunt happens, and JP gets the kill. Now Rosa and Pagu in a bad situation. Turtle up in 3 seconds. Team Liquid gonna reposition.
Lunar probably didn't want to reposition there.
Sanji!
Oh, they walk right into it. A stun and a final slash, and Sanford finds Pagu.
It's almost like Team Liquid were like, all right, game 1, game 2, Aurora were catching us with these crazy unorthodox team fights that we might just have to go for our comfort picks. Oh, JP again?
Okay.
Clouds onto JP, brings him onto the tower, but Sanford showed up in the nick of time, but a shadow kill able to get it now. Sanford in a bad spot as well, brought down to about 20%. This is the final slash, and it's one hot onto Sanford. They can't get the kill, but the airstrike comes out. What? Time of Sanford finally goes down. Pagu with Tsunami Slam onto Sanji.
Oheb!
Tlph looking for a target, blazing duet from Oheb. And then there's Calm.
Okay.
Finally.
I hope this is real. Because they're a bit too far from each other to re-engage once again and cut us off. But yeah.
We finally analyzed.
Finally, maybe not.
Never mind.
Well, you keep wasting time. You gotta go in again.
Okay. But there you go. You see how these two players of Team Liquid really are working together almost all the time. It's JP and Sanford making things happen across the map, even without Tlph joining in. But when he decides to, that's where the narrative really shifts. This is a clear advantage in Team Liquid's hands so far, but Aurora Gaming, just the same, could see it as an opening. If they're able to constantly punish these two frontliners for Liquid that way, then they'll have much easier access to these members of Liquid who they're yet to shut down. That's Oheb, that's Sanji, and speaking of...
JP brought in the midst, there was no escape from that one.
Yeah. I don't know about the Shunpu there. Like, he tried to, I guess, body block for Oheb, and then he ended up just going like, oh no, it's me now. All right, whatever, you know? I guess we could say it's worth it because look at Sanford pushing up top, getting the prio again to maneuver into the jungle, but unfortunately they don't use it to do anything. So at the end of the day, it's just a free pick off there. But Team Liquid are still ahead by quite a bit, and the corrosion side will be done very soon by Oheb. That's going to be quick from him. Swift Trinity, Brute Force Breast Split already picked up now as well by Lunar.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a 2-level gap between the two junglers and a 1k gold lead too. So far Tlph has been doing, or it's not actually Tlph, it's JP and the other members of Liquid doing a great job at choking out resources from TNZ. He's only gotten his second core item just now.
Hold on, Pagu able to pull Sanford back as TNZ goes into the back line. Oh! Shadow Kill does not connect, and Sanford able to flicker away. Lunar still in the midst of things with the shifting clouds, able to bring JP back to the team. Aurora, do they want to keep on forcing this? Lunar backs off.
All right.
That's a retreat.
Genzi goes in with a Shadow Kill.
Onto JP, looking for the final shot and gets the kill.
The RNG just isn't in favor of JP. He's flickered out of the Shadow Kill. I think like this is the third time it's happened, and it just doesn't work in the way that you expect, right? You want to flicker right as the Shadow Kill comes in so that it kind of buffers, but it's just unfortunate. The thing is though, even with the flicker, TNT already had the Quad Shadow and he went Shadow Kill Lunar.
Clouds on a Tlph and Oheb in the face of a Feathered Airstrike, and the damage is too much.
That should have been an opening. There was no retry for Team Liquid.
Sigiboo! Wait a second, Pogu. Sanji takes out Pogu. Oheb has gotten the kill, but Sigiboo finds Sanji. Tlph now in control of the Lord Pit. It's nothing but Rosa and TNZ left.
I legit lost count of the number of vengeances that Sanford used in that previous fight. Oh my goodness, I thought the Fury of the Phoenix could have stood a chance, but yeah. And it was weird. Aurora Gaming, they had such the perfect opportunities. Tlph was forced to use his retribution in that previous clash. Team Liquid were already forced to back out. JP was nowhere to look for a setup, but Lunar probably in a desperate attempt to look for another setup to get more, just so they could ensure that they have the upper hand and the advantage, tried to go for something.
That's why when teams go for this kind of playstyle, it's a risk that you're taking where you might overheat yourself, right? And that's exactly what's happening to Aurora Gaming. They find some good team fights, but the fact that Team Liquid throughout the game has gotten more, he's gotten more wins in the team fights, it's built up frustration for Aurora Gaming. So whenever they only get like a small victory, one guy picked off, they're like, I want more. They're giving for TL hope basically to Aurora Gaming, and it's a false sense of security where Aurora are just like, we constantly want more, and the punish keeps on happening. You can't just be making these mistakes against Team Liquid. Look at already, with just a small mistake from Lunar, how much of a goal lead they built. Final slash!
Sanji takes out Rosa. That's the final slash you're waiting to see right before a big push.
With the flickered off angle too, Rosa could not expect that. I mean, there was no way to react to it. He wasn't really visible, and then boom, JP!
In the backside with a kick, but it's the wrong way, and sees Tsunami Slam. Back to the base, Immortality does pop. Sanford to try to help him out. A shifting cloud zone makes sure Sanford ill. Feather Airstrike does come down. Lunar forces it back up. Trying to lock onto Sanji.
Whoa.
Does get away on the top side though. Oheb with a BMI back.
Such great timing.
Nice stun.
Yeah. Okay, so they might not go for it first, but that was such great timing on the Purify. Oheb wasn't caught in the title strike, so his Blazing Duet wasn't cancelled out. At least Aurora Gaming were quick to react though, so they didn't feel majority of the damage just yet, but still that's already the Swift Trinity completed for Oheb. And mind you, that was the only time I think where he went in with the Blazing Duet. He wasn't alongside anyone else just yet, so what more if Team Liquid decide to commit with all these resources that they have?
Yeah, take a look at the items here again. With the Wind of Nature as well, Oheb is just so free. There's not really a lot of lockdown by the time he goes in. Oheb's playing this Claude really, really well, and he understands the job description of playing the Claude at this point, right? It's not to go Blazing Duet with the rest of the team initially. It's to wait for some of these resources to be burnt out. Lunar CC being burnt out, the Tsunami Slam from Pagu, and then, only then will Oheb walk up to clean up, and it's been working amazing right now. So Aurora, what is the route they need to take to avoid that from happening? Because again, it really seems like there's no answer right now.
Yeah, they do have answers in their lineup though, very direct answers at that. They do have the Fury of the Phoenix, they can use it to cancel out or at least stop Team Liquid in their tracks if they wanted to, or if they timed it really, really well. And TNZ, well, it's also partly the JP not being as lucky today when it comes to dodging the Ogi Shadow kills, but right now TNZ can also deal considerable amounts of damage if he wanted to, but okay. Speaking of, JP spots out where Aurora Gaming is going to come from.
Play, quick movements from Aurora Gaming. Lunar comes with a shifting path, but the knockup happens! And Aurora Gaming is shoved in their face! Back away from the Lord! Lunar taken out, Team Liquid going to advance.
2 members down, a Lord taken by the Chef. Team Liquid are looking for the end in game number 3 for match point.
Yup, they lost TNZ and Lunar, 2 of probably the most important heroes you could rely on for your defense.
AP with a big kick lands on Pagu. Oheb gonna get some more shots off. Pagu goes down next. It's Sigiboo and Rosa up against the Stampede. A Lord coming down the mid side. Oheb locks on a Sigiboo. Sigiboo trying to do something, but he just can't do it. Tlph and Sanji lock on the base, and that's game 2 for Team Liquid.
Match point secured for Team Liquid in the low brackets.
That was such a stark contrast between the Oheb we saw in the previous game and the much disciplined Claude that we got to see from him here in this game. But that was definitely mainly made possible by the amount of pressure that the Joe and Arlott were able to put across the map. That was such a commendable gameplay that we saw from them. Coupled with the damage that Sanji provides once he finally gets a hold of this Farsa, you understand why it's such a key hero here in M7 now.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why Aurora Turkey early on were taking away that Farza. It worked so well in the hands of Rosa, and I think a lot of this has been coming down to draft between the two teams. Turkey were able to win game 1 with a clean draft, team 2, and in game 2 things start to go downhill, and now we're just in full shambles.
I gotta agree with Gideon on this one, man. He mentioned in the panel earlier during the draft that the CC pick really like dictated the draft, but for his own team, it really limited them in terms of what they can do in the later phase. And man, the fact that the flex was already taken away very early clearly shows this Team Liquid able to pick up components that just deny that hyperfixation combo of Aurora Gaming.
Yeah. And Carl TZ with the uncharacteristic recalls too. I think that means something for Liquid here.
He's feeling it. Let's see if the panel's feeling the same vibe as Carl. Go TZ, man.